What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Mark. Thank you for stopping by TBM Sports to get your Tuesday, February 18th college basketball picks. We're going to do five. We're going to have a little five-pack on this spot. So all you guys that were looking for the fade last night, apologies. We did get a day in the green, so that's going to be one where we did bounce back. Very, very close. Kind of went all in mentally yesterday, and it's something where we pressed a little bit and got the job done. But don't expect that for too long because we are starting to kick the tires where the college basketball world is kind of full front and on full display. I think not just with what I'm doing, but I think right now as the NFL season has concluded, this is really when we start to see that kind of take shape across the board. You kind of get that vibe back in the environment. And I think personally, I think the numbers are going to be right there where we want them. We have enough data points to go off of now, and we're going to have some bad days. But for the most part, college basketball, we're going to grind out the whole season in its entirety up and through the NIT and the big dance. So let's get into it. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe right down below. Smash that like button, and we'll get through the picks real quickly. We'll buzz through the board, and I'll give you guys kind of where I'm at and my insight. Also, feel free to check out the free Discord that we do have a link down below. And always, guys, make sure you guys follow me on X because I will post everything on there. We're going to start to kick things up a little bit on that platform as well moving forward, okay? So let's get into it. The first game that we're going to talk about, one that I don't have a play in, is Villanova and Yukon. Okay, now this is an interesting spot because the Huskies off a bad loss. Okay, they come into this game as a 8.5 point favorite. This number has climbed up a little bit. You can find a full 8 if you want it, and that would be the side that I lean to. But I'm not going to play this game. Really close to putting an official bet down for Yukon. Villanova, scrappy bunch, but on the road in Big East play, I just don't see it. So I think the Huskies bounce back, and kind of a shit show season for the Yukon team. Kind of my darling that we rode pretty much for the duration of the 2024 season last year, albeit, you know, things change, people graduate. With that big contract there, we had... from an organizational standpoint, I thought that Yukon would have had a little bit of better showing. Okay, I know players graduate, but tradition really doesn't. Okay, so that's kind of where I'm at. Yukon is the side that I would play if I was going to recommend a pick for that game. Also, we're going to go down the odds board a little bit. We have a couple really good games. The next one in the SEC that we're going to be talking about is Oklahoma and Florida. Now, this is an interesting game because we have seen some movement with this line. Now, I want to share with you guys kind of my take on Florida. Now, Florida win-losses on the season is a 20-3 record. If we look at ATS, they've been a fairly good team. The one thing about Florida that's always bit us throughout the course of this season is the fact that they're a way better team at home. And that's exactly where we get them at today. 7-4 in 2 pushes on the season at home ATS. And this is a number where, guys, I got to tell you, I love Florida by double digits, okay? Whether or not they covered that 14 that you would be able to find is going to be the big question. All right, if you can find a 14, jump on it. Right now, as I'm looking at the screen, guys, that number has went from 13.5 to 14 to 14.5 all the way through the morning, and I would not be surprised if we do get Florida trending upwards to a wholehearted minus 15 before tip-off, okay? But this is more so not just backing Florida, the number 2 team in the country at home. All right, this is more so looking at this Florida squad as a fade against Oklahoma. Okay, Oklahoma 16-9 on the season, but there is something where you look at some of their recent losses as we get into some of these contests. It's been absolutely atrocious, and a lot of these games were at home. But you know, more convincingly, going against top-tier talent such as the Auburns, the Tennessees of the world. Okay, the one thing that does give me some pause though is that they were able to beat Vanderbilt 97-67 at home. But like I said, guys, this game was played. By my opinion, we've seen similar opponents where we do get the Oklahoma Sooners going on the road, and I just don't see this one happening. If we date back their last 10 games, guys, it's something where they've only had 3 wins in their last 10 games. So I really do like Florida quite a bit here. This is just going to be a question for yourselves, do you want to back them through that 15? For me, guys, I think this is a blowout. I think that 18 is probably where this number finishes at, similar to what we saw last night within Virginia and Duke. I think the number gets out of control, and so does the game script where the Gators roll. The big question is kind of morale, because as you get around this time of the year, they pretty much have the number 1 seed all locked up for them down in Gainesville. So for me, guys, it's going to be a play with 14 on the Gators. I won't play it above 15, but I do think this one is going to be a blowout in Gainesville. Okay. Next game that we are going to stay in the SEC for, you can see right here at the top of your screen, is Texas A&M and Mississippi State. Normally, guys, I do back the SEC home teams quite often. This is going to be a play within the Aggies, okay? I do want to take the points there on the road. Honestly, don't even mind the money line there at plus 120 if you guys want some plus money value. But this is something where it's Aggies or nothing. I think this is one of my favorite plays of the day. Texas A&M winning 5 of their last 5. Also, we do get them 3 out of their last 5 ATS, and they were real close ones. Just barely not covering with the win and the ATS. Okay, so as we look at it, guys, as you want to talk about Texas A&M as an underdog on the road, 6-1 on the season, so that's an 85% clip for covering the number on the road. This is kind of where it comes down to, guys. Not only can A&M win this one outright, but I also do like them quite a bit to cover the number, and that's why it's going to be my favorite play of the day. Texas A&M plus 2.5 at a minus 110 price. Okay, so that's kind of where we're at within the first 2 plays that I will have in this slate. We're going to move down the odds board a little bit more and get into the Illinois-Wisconsin game, as the Badgers 11th in the country as we currently are trending in their direction, and this is one where we're going to keep it going. Okay, so Wisconsin, I don't like laying minus 3.5s in basketball, and the problem is with this one, guys, is the money line has gotten out of control. So I won't lay minus 170, but if you were going to get involved with any kind of money line parlay, I would lay a Wisconsin money line if you can find it anywhere close to minus 150, $1.50 there. But as we look at it, guys, closer to that $1.80 price, $2 even. I fully understand Big Ten games, I think, get a little closer to the vest down the stretch. And as we talk about kind of Wisconsin and kind of how they, were able to win against Purdue in very convincing fashion, this is a game where I really do love the Badgers here, okay? They just put up 94 on Purdue on the road. Very impressive win, back-to-back wins against Purdue, Iowa, also winning against Indiana and Northwestern on the road. But Illinois, this is a heartfelt loss that they had against the Spartans there in Michigan State. They're a scrappy bunch. This one will probably look to be a bounce-back spot for them, but I just think the Badgers are the right side. I don't know if the 3.5 is going to get us there, but if we were going to play this game, lay the 3.5, because Wisconsin is the best side, in my opinion. Also, if you do want to kind of involve them within the money line, that's also an angle. So I'm going to leave that one up to you guys, but I am on the side of the Badgers as an official play, where I do like them quite a bit in this spot. Okay. Next game, Kansas and BYU. Okay, now this is something where we're going to have a slight play where I do think my number lines up to the under in this contest. BYU's at home. They need a win. They're a bubble team, and Kansas isn't the Kansas team that I liked early on in the season to do well in the tournament. I love their guard play and the acquisition, from the big man from Michigan. That's going to be a storyline for the tournament. We'll see if they get a favorable draw. But in this spot, as they go into, I believe it's Provo. I'm not actually sure. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but I think that's kind of where this game, sometimes with all these college basketball arenas, you get screwed up a little bit. But yeah, as we look at this is going to be a play on simply BYU needs to win the game, okay? They need to win the game, and to get into the tournament, this is going to be a very nice resume builder, 23rd ranked Jayhawks coming into town. And one of the reasons why I did like this bet, okay, as we look down into some of the trends, okay, Kansas is 1-9 in their last 9 games as an underdog. So if they aren't going to win this game, they're not going to score. Okay, the under has also hit in 8 of the last 10 Jayhawk games on the road. So we will be laying the under 148.5 here between Kansas and BYU. Okay, that's another play that I do like quite a bit, and that will be an official one because I think that if BYU is going to win this game, they're probably the correct side, and being the correct side and winning the game, they're going to want to keep this one kind of more deliberate, and I think that's where you kind of cut into the possessions for the Jayhawks. And if they don't really shoot the ball well on the road in a raucous arena, it's definitely going to support the trend towards the under. So give me the under in that spot between BYU and Kansas. Okay, and let's get down the board a little bit deeper. There is going to be one other play that we do have, and that's where we're going to get into the likes of the LSU Tigers, okay? And this will be a straight-up money line, guys. I'm trying to find it here. I must have skipped on by it. Sometimes that will happen with these logos. So we'll do a quick little search, and boom, that's where we're going to settle on. South Carolina taking on the LSU Tigers. All right, LSU minus 140. That's going to be my play. That is an official play for me. As we look into kind of why, well, quite frankly, guys, South Carolina is on a little bit of a slope. 10-15 on the season, 11-14 ATS. They've not covered 4 out of their last 5 on the spread. And as we look at the LSU money line right now, guys, I think that there is some value at minus 140 on Bet365. Okay, and that's kind of where I'm at. All right, as we look at kind of some of the injuries as well for South Carolina, it does jump off the page. I mean, dropping 5 straight, and actually, guys, if you want to even go kind of deeper down this list, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 games in a row they have lost. So never bet against a streak to end. We're going to take the LSU Tigers at home to continue this trend. They were able to beat Oklahoma, close kind of defeats against some better competition. This is an LSU club, though, that I don't like as well. But this is kind of where we're going to keep fading South Carolina. Take LSU at home on the money line, minus 140. And that's kind of where we're going to be at for this bet to round out the Tuesday card. Okay. So, guys, appreciate you all tuning in. This was a little bit longer video. We had a couple more games to go over. As always, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Join us here at TBM Sports. And just a quick little recap of the picks. We're going to go Kansas under 148.5, LSU money line, Texas A&M. We're going to grab the points there with the Aggies, as well as we're going to lay 14 with Florida and taking Wisconsin. It's up to you, money line, or if you want to lay the 3.5 and give it a dare. But I do think this is going to be something where I really would prefer to have that 3.5. I just think this game might be a little bit closer. But Wisconsin, hard to bet against that train after what they were able to do on the road against the Boilers. Okay, so that is my 5-pack and a couple leans where we're going to go lean Yukon with a bounce-back game. So that'll wrap it up. Appreciate you guys. Good luck with your tickets. Let's keep this train rolling, and we'll see you guys all in the next video. Cheers.